Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. Today in this session we are going to see the breathing and exchange of gases. First of all, we have to understand what is breathing and what is respiration. Actually, we feel that breathing and respiration both are same. But breathing and respiration both are not same. There is a difference between the breathing and respiration that we have to understand. What is breathing? Breathing means just the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We know that oxygen we need, that oxygen is taken inside and the carbon dioxide which is produced by the cells is released outside. Yes or no? So from the atmosphere oxygen is taken in and from the cells the carbon dioxide is released out. So this process is called breathing. Breathing is just exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere with carbon dioxide produced by the cells. Then what is respiration? Respiration is the oxidation of nutrients. Oxidation of nutrients means the breakdown of nutrients. Where this breakdown takes place inside the living cells to release the energy. Generally cells they require energy for their biological work, for their function. So that is why they get the energy from these nutrients. These nutrients should break down, right? This process, the breakdown of nutrients, is called what? Oxidation process. This oxidation takes place inside the cells, living cells. So when this oxidation process takes place inside the living cells, then what happens? The energy is produced. This energy is utilized by the cells, right? Now let's try to understand the respiratory organs first. In the different living organisms, generally different living organisms, they have different types of respiratory organs. So general body surface, some animals can respire through the general body surface, means they don't have special respiratory organs in their body to respire. So that is why they can respire through their general body surface. Through their body surface only they can take the oxygen and they can release the carbon dioxide. Example, lower invertebrates. What are the lower invertebrates? Sponges, coelentrates, flatworms. Look at these diagrams and try to understand such type of lower invertebrates. Invertebrates means which animals they do not have vertebral column or backbone. Such type of animals can respire through their body surface. So such type of lower invertebrates can respire through the body surface. And some animals can respire through their skin or their moist cuticle. Example, if we take the earthworm and as well as leech, if we take the earthworm and as well as leech, so they can respire through their moist cuticle. And when we come to the amphibians, they can respire through their skin. Such type of respiration, if they can respire through the skin or if they can respire through the moist cuticle, then such type of respiration is called cutaneous respiration. This is a very, very important point for your examination purpose. What is cutaneous respiration? If animals can respire through their skin or their moist cuticle, then such type of respiration is called cutaneous respiration. What are the examples for cutaneous respiration? Earthworm, leech and amphibians, etc. Okay. What now? Another type of respiratory organs are there in some animals like insects, centipedes, millipedes, spiders. So we can observe some tubes-like structures in their body. These tubes-like structures are called trachea. If animals can respire through the trachea or tubes-like structures, then such type of respiratory organs are called tracheal tubes, and the respiration is called tracheal respiratory system. So what are the examples? Insects, centipedes, millipedes, spider, etc. Right? If we observe the fishes, tadpoles, prawns like animals which they live in the water, they can respire through the gills. If animals they can respire through the gills, such type of respiration is called what? Branchial respiration. Branchial respiration means if they have gills to respire, then such type of respiration is called branchial respiration. Next, another type of respiratory organs are lungs. If animals they have lungs for their respiration, such type of respiration is called pulmonary respiration. Where we can observe the pulmonary respiration in the vertebrates, we can observe most of the vertebrates can respire through the lungs only. Example, human beings. Example, you can take the cat, dog, all these vertebrates. Vertebrates means what? Which they have backbone, vertebral column in their body. Such type of animals can respire through the lungs. If they can respire through the lungs, such type of respiration is called what? Pulmonary respiration. Okay. Once again, I am going to repeat this. Look at this. If Some animals can respire through the general body surface. Some animals can respire through the skin or moist cuticle. If they can respire through the skin or moist cuticle, such type of respiration is called cutaneous respiration. You have to remember with the examples. Okay, if animals can respire through the trachea, then tracheal respiration. If the animals can respire through the gills, branchial respiration. So mostly animals which they can live in the water, they can respire through the gills, that we have to remember. Fishes, tadpoles, prawns, etc. Right? And lungs, most of the vertebrates can respire through the lungs. If they can respire through the lungs, such type of respiration is called pulmonary respiration. These points you have to remember. Okay, now let's try to understand the human respiratory system. In the human respiratory system, we can observe two zones. One is the air tract and another one is the paid lungs. In the air tract, what happens? This is called conducting part or conducting zone. It transports generally atmospheric air into the alveoli. It clears air from foreign particles and it humidifies and brings air to body temperature. From where to where we can consider as a conducting part or air passage or air tract. First of all, we have to understand. Look at this diagram and try to understand. So this trachea and these tubes like structures are there now. What are these? Bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, all these trachea, bronchi. Look at this. Look at this diagram. Look at this diagram. Trachea, okay, and bronchus, and as well as inside bronchioles are there. Inside again these tubes are divided into bronchus, divided into so many branches. These branches are called bronchioles. All these together called what? Conducting part. Okay, this you have to remember. This conducting part, what is the function of this conducting part? It transport atmospheric air into where? Alveoli. Up to alveoli it can carry, and it clears air from foreign particles. If any dust particles are there, it clears the air. If dust particles are there, these dust particles are arrested in the conducting zone only, means they cannot enter into the alveoli. So these dust particles are arrested in the conducting zone, and also it humidifies and brings the air to body temperature. It adds the water vapor to the air, and as well as this conducting part can bring the temperature of the air to body temperature. It humidifies and bring the air to body temperature, means the air temperature may be vary to body temperature. So that is why it humidifies and brings the air to body temperature, and then oxygen or the air enters inside the alveoli. So means exchange takes place, right? So this occurs in the conducting zone. In the conducting zone, generally what happens? Carries air and filters the air and humidifies the air, and as well as warms incoming air. Okay, so it also warms the incoming air. So these functions take place in the conducting zone, you have to remember. Then next another zone is the respiratory zone, right? In the respiratory zone, what happens? Gas exchange takes place. What is the respiratory zone? These alveoli are the respiratory zone. So here what happens in the alveoli? Generally gases exchange takes place, means air, oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange takes place. Okay, let's try to understand first of all the air tract, passage of air, how air enters and where it goes. First, from the external nostrils to, we know that nose as nostrils, from the external nostrils to enter into the nasal passages, then nasal passages to nasal chambers, nasal cavities to nasopharynx, pharynx region where the nasal cavities open is called nasopharynx. This nasopharynx to glottis region, then glottis to larynx region, then trachea to primary bronchi, from there to secondary bronchi, from there to tertiary bronchi, there to bronchioles, then finally terminal bronchioles to respiratory bronchioles, from there to alveolar duct, means alveoli, from the alveolar duct to alveoli. So like this, air moves from the external nostrils to alveoli. Each terminal bronchiole give rise to many thin and vascularized alveoli. This we have to remember. Each terminal bronchiole, from the each terminal bronchiole give rise to many thin vascularized alveoli are there. Okay, this is about the conducting zone. Okay, now let's try to understand about the larynx and trachea. Larynx is a generally sound box or voice box. It is a cartilaginous box which helps in sound production. During swallowing, glottis is closed by epiglottis. So here epiglottis is there. So this opening is the glottis. This glottis is covered by what? Epiglottis. A thin elastic cartilaginous flap. What is this? Epiglottis is a thin elastic cartilage. Okay. To prevent the entry of food into the larynx. It covers this larynx region. The larynx region is covered by this. The larynx generally epiglottis is there over the larynx. This glottis is covered by epiglottis. This epiglottis prevents the entry of food into the larynx. Trachea, all bronchi and initial bronchioles are supported by incomplete cartilaginous half rings. Look at this. Here, cartilage rings are there. Okay, this trachea and as well as bronchi. So bronchi means what? This is the trachea and these are the bronchi, right? Bronchus, two bronchus are there now. Trachea divides into two branches. So these branches are called bronchi. So bronchi and as well as bronchi again divide into initial bronchioles, smaller branches. All these are supported by what? All these are supported by C-shaped, means incomplete cartilaginous rings. Okay, half rings are there which they can prevent the trachea and as well as bronchi from, it prevents from its collapsing. Trachea not collapsed because of what? Because of C-shaped cartilaginous rings. Lungs are situated in the thoracic chamber. Next, lungs. Lungs are situated in thoracic chamber and rest on diaphragm. Right lung has 3 lobes and left lung has 2 lobes. Each lung is covered by double layered pleura. So right lung, this is the right lung. This right lung has 3 lobes and this left lung has 2 lobes. Each lung is covered by double layered pleura. These lungs are covered by what? Double layered pleura. Means the covering which is present over the lungs, double layered pleura is there. So this pleura, outer layer is called outer parietal pleura and inner layer is called inner visceral pleura. The pleural fluid present in between these 2 layers. Example, this is the lung. This lung is covered by like this 2 layers. So this area is completely filled with what? This area is completely filled with a fluid which is called pleural fluid. So what is the function of this pleural fluid? Lubricate the surface of the lungs and as well as prevent friction between the membranes. Okay, it prevents the friction between the membranes and lubricate the surface of the lungs. Now, what are lungs? Bronchi, bronchioles plus alveoli together called lungs. Alveoli and their ducts form respiratory or exchange part of respiratory system. Already I told this, alveoli are the exchange, gas exchange takes place, so exchange region alveoli are, and their ducts also considered as the respiratory or exchange part only. Alveoli are the structural and functional units of lungs. Means the lungs are composed of what? Alveoli. So these alveoli balloons like structures. So lungs are composed by these alveoli like structures only. These are the structural and functional units for lungs. Okay, this is about the introduction part of the breathing and exchange of gases in the human beings. So remaining part we will see in the next session. If you like my session, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.